Okay, it's really difficult to see on this one. Here's our fuses. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry about the focus here, but we're trying to get in some really close stuff. Gotta have the light and your angle just right. And you'll see a ring around it. You can actually see where the other circuits are starting to get. You can see a ring right there as well. And those two, I'm going to have to touch up all these. But this is a cracked solder joint. There you can see it. You can see a ring around there. I'll see if I can draw something in later. But if we pull back a little bit, let the light adjust here, this trace is actually darkened. Well, why is that? There's more bulbs than the other circuits. It's darkened because these traces cracked first and the connection was intermittent and it caused higher resistance, and higher resistance in electrical work causes heat, and that's why this trace is heating up. Now I looked at all these pins and they look really good, but I'm still going to touch them up. And we'll see if we can set up the camera and show you that procedure too. Might as well do the whole fix on camera here. Now of course Scott probably wouldn't like me doing this, but it's still attached to the machine. I got all the wiring harnesses still attached except for a couple. Just letting her lay down. This isn't the main computer board, this is just the power board. So don't have to worry about frying anything on it. Here we are. Got everything nice and close here with the camera. Hopefully I don't burn the lens. That would really suck. What I got here is the desoldering tip. I've got a little desoldering station here. We'll just handle all these pins right here. Actually, I need my magnifiers so I can see what the heck I'm doing here. So, gonna heat up the joint here. Jiggle it around. And there we got solder removed. We'll just run down the line. We'll just do all these. That one looks great. That one's good. Now I could just reflow the solder and that'd be fine. But I figure, what the hey, as long as I'm here, might as well get out all the tools. Show you how they work. Got kind of a big tip on my soldering gun, or soldering tool here. Soldering station. Trick is to heat the joint and the board at the same time. There we go. Gotta let the joint properly heat up so the solder flows. Trick with the desoldering tool is to get the solder molten before you pull the trigger. And then it works beautifully. I am using lead-based solder. I find that tends to work the best. This is Kester brand solder. Let's see, this one actually says 6644. That's just the ratio of components that are in the solder here. Now the reason why I didn't unsolder every piece of this connector at once is because I don't want the connector falling out. So you leave a couple points soldered in so it doesn't happen, because that desoldering gun works great. Connector will fall right out. And the washing machine is right overhead, so you can hear all that water coming down. Okay, all those solder joints look good. Reposition the camera, refocus it, and we'll work on the real problem here. Okay, the real issue is these fuse holders here. And this one has actually cracked worse, but it was still working. We'll just do one at a time. That last one, got real happy I didn't get all the solder out, so gonna heat it up. Put some fresh solder on there. There we go. Fresh solder works best. I'm only doing one of these at a time, as you see, because these top two are the whole end clip for that fuse. So if I remove the solder from both, the fuse would fall out. That's no good. The desoldering tool I got has really made my life a lot easier. Let's bump up the temperature on the soldering iron a bit. And I'm also letting the solder flow and heat up enough. So I'm not pulling the soldering iron away immediately after I pull the solder away. And as long as I'm going at it. We'll just do these rest of them. We'll refocus the camera here. The soldering is done, and just to kind of clean up things, I'm going to put on some flux remover. You can use rubbing alcohol as well, just to get off that excess flux. It's just kind of being tidy after you're done working on something. Granted, nobody's ever going to see it until they pull this board off again. But, you know, I just like doing things the right way, and removing the flux the excess flux is one way to do that. Okay, got Elvis back together, and the lights are now working. So what was the real cause? Well, sort of a cascade effect. Cracked solder joint caused excess heat, and also the fuse holder itself was a little weak. And after I put everything back together, it still didn't work. So what I did was I just tweaked the fuse holder, and then she started working. But I am really glad I pulled everything apart, because I found a lot of cracked solder joints on other fuses that I fixed. And there was also a line that had pulled off from the board, a 50-volt line, the incoming power line to that board. And I beefed that up with a wire. So we are much better now. These lights should certainly stay working for a long time in home use. This machine was routed, So it has spent a lot of time being on. But Elvis is back to his former glory and all lit up. Thanks for watching.